Joining us on the Hala Chambers is Honorable Leke Abejide, representing Yagba Federal Constituency, and he's also the Chairman, House Committee on Customs and Excise Duty. It's good to have you on the program, sir.
Thank you so much, and thank you, viewers across the nation.
And I must say congratulations on your latest appointment as the Chairman of the House Committee on Customs.
Thank you so much.
So,
I give God the glory.
What are the activities or the core activities of your committee?
Well, like every standing committee in the House, we have been given assignment to oversee a specific agency. And ours is very clear, we are to oversee Nigeria Customs Service. And everybody knows what Nigeria Customs Service does. They are majorly in charge of import and exports. They collect revenue and accounts for the same for the federal government of Nigeria. And if you look at the budget, you see the contribution of Nigeria Customs is not a main achievement. Last year, they were able to generate, they collected 1.562 trillion. When they added the VAT, they collected on behalf of FIROS. So, and majorly the committee is to oversee them and ensure that they carry out this function, make sure the trade facilitation is in order, is in line with the federal government of ease of doing business. And also ensure that the borders are well policed by the custom, so that all this infiltration of arms, smuggling of illegal goods, contrabands are curtailed, if not eradicated. So these are the activities. And also, when we approve their budget, we have to ensure that whatever we have approved for them is executed in the budget. We go out to all the commands and ensure what is in the budget, we see them on ground. So that when you are bringing another budget next year or the following year, we will know whether you have actually performed or not.
Holding on to that thought, at a very recent budget defense meeting with the leadership of the Customs Service, we saw members of your committee standing their grounds on the issue of their projected revenue. And this did not really go down well with the custom team. What will be the next line of action if perhaps the customs fails to meet, this target?
Well, it's not that it didn't go down with them. They came with the projection of 1.46 trillion. And in 2020, the target given to them was 1.679 trillion. It was reduced to 1.380 trillion because of COVID-19 pandemic, which affected the whole world. There was lockdown everywhere. Even our border was closed because of this banditry and so many other factors. But when they now brought in the budget, most of these factors that led to the reduction of the target from 1.679 trillion are no longer there. In fact, there are new things that came up. For example, the Finance Act approved for them to collect excise duty on carbonated drinks. What they will even get from Coca-Cola alone, 7-Up. It's not going to be a small amount. If it's automated, I'm sure from 400 to 500 billion can be gotten from these companies. They have not been paying before. This is going to be the first time. So all these factors were not there. Then again, there is devaluation of Naira. Central Bank Governor, I had him, not only hearing him, I saw it on the news, saying our Naira now has been devalued. That the official exchange rate is going to be 410 Naira to $1. In monetary terms, you see the volume of money that the customer will get. It may not be real the value of the money because there is a valuation already. So when we look at this in budget, the proposal is inadequate. When you look at these factors, and again, the Finance Act also reduced the rate of levy from 35% for new vehicles to 5%. I'm not saying this in a levy. And because of these levies, most of these importers take their vehicles to neighboring countries like Cotonou, Benin Republic, and then to Togo. Because of the levy, not because of the rate of duty. It's the levy that makes them to run away from this port. With this reduction to mere 5%, there will be influx of vehicles, so there will be enough revenue from them.
Are you sure that the levy is actually the real problem here?
Yes, the levy is the real problem. For example, if you are bringing a new car, let's say you are buying a brand new Lexus 570 2020 model or 2021, if you pay duty of 35%, let's say the duty is 11 million naira. You also pay levy of 11 million naira. That is 70%. So that one is no longer there. So instead of you maybe uncertainty, you can't leave certainty for uncertainty. Now you are sure that if you bring your vehicle to the port, you will get it at your own time and very easy. And again, you can move anywhere in the country without customs being arresting you. But if you smuggle them in, it's not your vehicle, because if customs stop you and you happen not to pass through the normal route, you have no excuse. This vehicle has to go.
Well, speaking on the levy on vehicles, like you rightly mentioned, one major issue that came out of that interaction is the federal government's intention to restrict the age of cars to 7 years. Do you consider this proposed policy as people-friendly, even considering the average citizens whom you represent?
It's not a new thing. The age limit on vehicles is not new. It has been there during Abacha days. It has been there. People don't just pay attention to it. There's age limit on vehicles. It's not a new policy. It's only that maybe now they reduce it for maybe 10 years. So I would suggest that instead of 7, let it be 10 years. A 7-year-old vehicle, not many Nigerians can afford it. But a 10-year vehicle is already even old itself. Now this is 2021, so if you are talking of 10 years old vehicle, you are talking about 2011 vehicle. So if you see it, some already very old. It's, it has been thrown away in developed countries, but here, because of our economic power, it's low. People still look at it as a new vehicle. And again, the government is, there is no support to the poor people in order to, to buy these new vehicles. So I would suggest that the age limit should be increased to 10 years so that average Nigerians can have access to mobility. Now that we have not developed our transport system, that you don't need to go out with your car. Now in Abuja, for example, if you don't come out with your car, you will just be sovereign. You will be on the road waiting for vehicle that is not there. So I would suggest that it should be increased to 10 years. And it's a policy which has not been made. So when the policy comes, we are also there. We are policy makers. We are part of the policy, the decision makers. So we look at it. The one that will benefit our people more is what we will do. But me, I'm not in support of rickety cars to come into the country, making Nigeria a dumping ground.
We would like to find out what your committee is actually doing about securing the land borders, given the rising level of insecurity in the country, but that will be after the break. So we'll go on a short break right now and we'll be right back. Well, if you're just joining us, we have been speaking to Honorable Leke Abejide, who is also the chairman of the House Committee on Customs and Excise Duty. Thank you for your time with us so far, sir. So insecurity is now a major problem that we're facing in the country, yet we do not have scanners to check what is being brought into the country across our land and seaports. Does this make a mockery of the nation's fight against crimes and especially terrorism and counterfeit drugs?
Of course, yes. Yeah, the issue of scanner, now there was a motion moved on the floor of the House. And there's a referral to our committee to investigate the era of scanner in this country. One of the major problems we have is lack of scanners at the borders. There's need for us to check why these scanners collapse. If you say, okay, Nigeria has money, and then you buy, somebody come, use it, dump it away, or use politics, or use their own way, scatter it, then next time you go and buy a new one, it doesn't make sense. So we started asking for memoranda from general public and stakeholders. On the 17th of May, there's going to be a public hearing on this issue of scanner. I want to know why we are having this issue. Because even though if you buy a new one today, and if you don't look at what led to the first collapse, it will go the same way. I want to use this medium also to suggest that when we went around, we saw some scanners that should not be thrown away. They can still be repaired. If we have repaired them, by now, I believe this level of insecurity will have reduced. Even though we are bringing new one, let us repair the one we have on ground as a backup. It has caused a lot of problem. If you watch news, I think 2 days ago, Nigeria Customs Service, Apapa Area Command, intercepted explosive in containers. So many of that explosive have gone to the market, or gone to so I don't know, to the insurgents. And they pass through the containers because there is nothing to check. There is no system to check. Doing physical examination is good, but you cannot see everything except there is scanner. Scanner will show whatever it is, even if it is a pain, it will show everything. You will see it clearly. But if you want to do physical examination, you just take one line, you say, okay, this line, okay, then this line. Oh, it doesn't make any sense. That's why it's a mockery. That's what I'm upset.
So, instead of always highlighting the problem, which is, we've highlighted one now, which is lack of scanners at our borders, what are other issues that you feel needs attention, and what are the solutions to them?
Yeah. One, the scanner is good. And even though now they are talking about e-custom, according to the report that Comptroller General of Custom gave to us in the committee and personally also gave to me, is the e-custom is coming with 135 scanners. But when are we going to see all this? The time frame between that now and the period the 35 scanner will come, only God knows what will come into this country and damage the reputation of this country. So scanner is one. Another major thing is personnel. Training of the personnel. Already Nigeria Customs Service now lack personnel.
And why is that?
There is 17-year gap of lack of recruitment. 17-year gap. And this 17-year gap now has now created a lot of species. When we went on oversight, there is no command we go to that they don't request for a junior officer. Somebody that is wearing CSC will be the one that will be giving you water. CSC is already a senior officer in customs.
But since there's that need for personnel and the country's unemployment rate keeps rising, why is it so difficult to recruit these unemployed citizens?
Yes, we are need. They are doing recruitment now. According to the CGC, they have target for 3,200 officers, which to me is not even more than 1 or 2 commands in Zone A that can absorb. So the The excuses he's given is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammad Buhari, said he, as a person, doesn't want you to take somebody, you say you employ him now, and you cannot pay him. So you should make sure your money is on ground to pay the officer you recruit. For example, Nigeria Customs needs more than 20,000 men, from my own observation, in order to police this border very well and make sure the job is done well. What we are trying to do for them now in the National Assembly is to look for a way of increasing their funding, because their funding is inadequate as well. They generate a lot of trillions, but they are not enjoying. If you go to command and see officers where they sleep, no accommodation for many of them.
So are you saying there's maybe sort of like a gap?
Yes, what we are trying to do.
Agency that generates a lot and
yes,
gets very little.
What we are trying to propose now in the act, in the next 2 weeks, I'm already working on the act, and also the Senate is doing the same. In the next 2 weeks, we want to complete this act and make sure and try for them so that this 7% collection they are taking, that is 7% of duty, not 7% of FOB. It's 7% of just duty. You may not understand unless I work it for you. 7% of duty is nothing compared to what customs need in order to perform optimally. So what we are suggesting is that, okay, let the 7% of duty be scrapped and take away. Let them take 4% FOB, freight on board, of whatever comes into this country. Customs, by then, they can recruit as many as they want and they can pay them.
But has this issue been relayed to the federal government? Is the federal government aware of this problem?
Yeah, federal government is aware, and that is why the president, in his wisdom, approved for them to use 60% of comprehensive import supervision scheme. That is, they call it 1% CISS, comprehensive import supervision scheme. It's not supposed to be for them, but it's just because that 7% collection of duty they are taking is not enough. Even with this 60% of the 1% CISS, it's still not adequate. So what we are suggesting is that, okay, instead of all this Koskorima thing, you manage this, put one left to right, joining. Let us even forget about it. Let us give them the power to take 4% of FOB, anything that come into this country. So from there, custom will be okay.
All right. As the chairman of the House Committee on Customs, what do you want to be remembered for?
That's what I'm saying. I want to be remembered as somebody who now came in. All these acts that has been dormant, like the SEMA, that is Customs and Excise Management Act, now be repealed and reenacted, and then President passes into law in my tenure. This is a great achievement if it's done. And I want to see a customs service that will be more professional, that in their duties, they'll be able to function the way the act asks them to perform. This is what I want to be remembered for.
That is all on our program this week. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media handles and also follow me on Twitter. My handle is @TijesuAdeoye TVC. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.